The Department of Homeland Security is now suggesting that there may be more arrests, including 3 Democrat congressmen, for breaking and entering into an ICE facility in New Jersey yesterday. See, you had a Newark mayor and 3 Democratic congressmen who showed up unannounced at an ICE facility with, of course, a mob with them and some cameras to try and force their way in. And, of course, the obligatory calling the ICE agents Nazis when they didn't get their way immediately. And then as a bus carrying criminals was entering the facility, they broke in using the distraction as their advantage. Now, the mayor was ultimately led away in handcuffs while the 3 congressmen were removed but didn't get charged. But now it seems that they may not skate entirely. Here is what Tricia McLaughlin said on CNN earlier this morning.
That these members of Congress, including the mayor as well, and a mob of protesters, as there was a bus full of detainees going through the gate, they stormed the gate and actually entered the first security checkpoint. This put law enforcement at risk, and this actually put the detainees as well at risk. If any official, including these members of Congress, want to enter the facility and take a tour, DHS is more than accommodating, but just because you're a member of Congress does not mean you can break the law, trespass, put law enforcement at risk, and storm the detention facility. I have yet to hear anyone on this network actually talk about who is in this detention facility. There are members of MS-13, known terrorists, murderers, child rapists. There are some of the worst in this detention facility, and I'm still very confused why these Democrats are so hell-bent on getting these heinous actors out of this facility when we have the proper permitting. And actually, in that press conference, those members of Congress actually noted the great conditions of this facility that our ICE enforcement officers so bravely operate.
Now, of course, the reasons why they would do this is multifaceted. It's performative, of course, for their voters because they have TDS, or Trump Derangement Syndrome, and Orange Man Bad, and Hitler. And so anything that Trump is for, they would be against. If Trump was for saving babies that were drowning in the ocean, I'm sure the Democrat Party would find a way to say, no, let them drown, Orange Man Bad. And the other reason why they're doing this is, well, they want illegal aliens to stay in the country. That's been the modus operandi for the Democrat Party for the better part of 2 decades. Anyway, so these 3 congressmen so far have skated, but it looks like they may not, because McLaughlin also posted on social media after that interview saying we will not tolerate assaults against our ICE law enforcement agents by a member of Congress or anyone else. And she played a clip of the situation. Pushing her way in, shoving the ICE agent. That's what a rational congresswoman should be doing, right? Probably needs to eat a few more salads as well. Oh, there she's punching the ICE agent. Man, they have got to charge these crazy people. Now, the left-wing news rag Axios also got into the fray to discuss this as well. This is by Andrew Solender, posted just a couple of hours ago, saying Trump admin eyes arrests for House Dems over ICE incident. That's a nice way to put it. Democratic members of Congress who were part of a scuffle with law enforcement. How about deranged lunatic behavior with law enforcement? Officers at an ICE facility in New Jersey may face arrests. The Department of Homeland Security confirmed to Axios Saturday. Why it matters. Maybe no one's above the law, Axios. It would be a major escalation in the Trump administration's arrests of politicians and other public servants who are breaking the law. I'm adding that part there, including the mayor of Newark and a judge in Milwaukee. Yeah, because they were scumbag lawbreakers. The judge in Milwaukee deserved to be arrested there. Anyway, the DHS is accusing the House Democrats of assaulting law enforcement as we saw her punching the agent. The lawmakers say they are the ones who were assaulted because, sure, these are the ones that are instigating, pushing, calling them fascist, punching. Okay. Anyway, the lawmakers involved in the incident, Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman and Rob Menendez and LaMonica McIver. What they are saying Axios writes. This is definitely written for millennials. DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin said in a CNN interview on Saturday morning, which we watched, that there will likely be more arrests coming. We actually have body camera footage of these members of Congress assaulting these ICE enforcement officers, including body slamming a female ICE officer. She added. McLaughlin said there is an ongoing investigation and that arresting the lawmakers is definitely on the table. She confirmed in a text message to Axios that the House Democrats may be arrested. Good. These people are lunatics. We have tolerated stupidity, outrageous behaviors in the U.S. for a long time. Ever since the George Floyd incident, where we decided it was okay for people to start burning down cities because we're mad, ever since then, the rule of law has meant less and less and less, and more of these deranged lunatics think that they can go out there and start assaulting, killing, and hurting people. And that has to stop. You can't have this go on forever and have one side just sit there and take it. Eventually, it's going to get ugly. So you got to squash this now. Now, the other side, Axios writes, threatening to arrest members of Congress for exercising their lawful oversight authority is another example of the administration abusing its power to try to intimidate anyone who stands up to them, said a spokesperson for Watson Coleman. Now, Watson Coleman, shame on you. What happened to the no one's above the law when it came to Donald Trump? But if you want to assault officers, punching and hitting them, which anyone else would be going to jail, but not you, that's just an outrageous move by Trump. Again, Orange Man bad, Hitler, and derangement. Now, we're honestly surprised, they went on to say, that they released this footage given that it so wholly contradicts their claims. Nobody was body slammed. Nobody assaulted any agents except for the punching. And this footage confirms that, I don't know, I saw some balled up fists there hitting someone. It doesn't matter if they were injured or not. You can't go around doing that. Try going up to your nearest police officer and punch them. You see what happens to you. But oh no, they're congressmen. We can't do anything about that. Oh no, golly gosh, gee, that's evil Trump. Anyway, McIver said at a press conference Friday after the incident that she was assaulted by multiple ICE officers, because she's a lion bee, apparently, while regional directors of ICE watched it happen. She was the one going in there and shoving them and pushing, trying to get her way into the facility. Nobody offered an apology or said anything to me about what occurred out there, she added. And House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, of course, stood by his members in a statement saying that the masked agents who physically accosted two congresswomen must be identified immediately. How about you tell that to all the BLM and Antifa rioters and people taking over campuses who wear masks? Why don't you call for them to remove their masks, Mr. Hakeem Jeffries? And then Axios finishes the article by saying, what happened? The lawmakers and ICE officers got into a physical confrontation over the arrest of Newark Mayor Ras Baraka for allegedly trespassing at the Delaney Hall Detention Center in Newark. That is one hell of a way to put this. The lawmakers and ICE officers got into a physical confrontation over the arrest of Newark Mayor. No. They got into a confrontation because they were trying to break and enter, and they broke and entered into the facility where they were not allowed to be. What a way to write that. What a scumbag. Anyway, this guy, Andrew was his name, wasn't it? Yeah. He finishes this article by saying the Democrats were there protesting the reopening of the facility to hold migrants, illegal aliens, arguing that the same private prison company operating it has failed to obtain the proper sanitation and safety permits. What an excuse. Watson Coleman told reporters after a tour of the facility on Friday that the conditions aren't bad, it's clean, they're feeding them. Yeah. And the bottom line is these lunatics need to be arrested. And anyone else that does these kinds of things should face jail time. I mean, honestly, this would be amazing if we start actually enforcing the rule of law and these lunatics spend some time behind bars. How amazing would that be? Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen because historically speaking, this sort of thing almost never does happen. But the Trump administration seems Trump 2.0 seems different this time around. So keep your eye out on it. There might be some interesting developments in the near future.